Hey everybody, Homebrew D&D content is some of my favorite. And today I have a smorgasbord of content all contained in one book for you to pick and choose from. Subclasses like the Spell Thievery Wizard and creatures such as the Copper Cat. Want to know more? Stick around. And if you want to win a copy for yourself, shoot us a comment down below. That interview starts now. Hey Nathan, how are you?
I'm good. And yourself?
Very good. Thanks for coming on. You are on here to discuss a labor of love that you have been producing for quite a while. You told me that you produce something new almost every day.
At least twice a week, and during some months when I do themed content, I will do it every day.
Well, I'm excited to hear all about it. So why don't you tell me about your project?
Sure. I created a book with all the D&D 5th edition stuff is what I make. I created a book. I call it The Amethyst Dragon's Horde of Everything. The Amethyst Dragon is the name I've used online for more than 28 years now.
Oh, wow.
Dragons have hordes of treasure, and I've got a horde of content here. And it's got some of everything in it. And also, after I was thinking of that, I'm like, there's also familiarity with some other books of everything that D&D players know. So that's a second tie-in with of everything part of it.
Sure.
But this is going to be almost 600 pages long.
Holy smokes.
It is filled with more than 1,700 options and ideas and things for both players and DMs. Subclasses, species, and ancestries. I changed up terminology instead of like races
Sure.
and subraces.
Right.
I was a science teacher. I kind of like the species part of it, and then ancestries is, the background of it. What gives you those differences? Like 108 subclasses, hundreds, 400 some spells, over 500 magic items, over 100 monsters, new options for martial characters. It's all crammed in here into one book. It is completely written and edited and laid out, designed. It needs some illustrations for the last two chapters, which are some of the NPCs and some of the monsters don't have illustrations yet. But other than that, it is done. It is ready to go.
And it's been on Kickstarter and it is funded officially now.
Yes, it funded 3 days ago now. So
That's
it will be
fantastic.
printed. It will get into people's hands early next year. I'm saying March of 25, but if things actually go smoothly, it could be a couple months before that.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed for that. How about that?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
So this is something you've been working on for quite a while.
Oh yeah, I've been making D&D content since 7th grade.
Oh
So
wow.
35 years. That first start was horribly unbalanced and the workings of a child. And even in high school, it wasn't the best stuff, but it was fun. But yeah, I played and ran, I DM'd, I've played, I ran it through college. I was making this stuff the whole way because D&D is a game of homebrews. It is. It started out as a homebrew based off of like war games. So people have been making stuff up. I didn't even know they had come up with a term for it till I started making it for 5th edition because I ran 3rd edition stuff for a long time and then did it on the computer for a long time. And when I burned out on the computer stuff, I decided to come back to pen and paper, pencil and paper, and it had gone. There was a 4th edition in there that I never touched
You
because
didn't miss much.
I just didn't play. I didn't play D&D in person at that time, so I just skipped it and went to 5th. And then it's like homebrew. What's homebrew? Oh, it's the stuff I've been doing all along. I make a lot of stuff. Inspiration is everywhere. I can, it could be like a character from a movie or something they do, or something from a book I've read, or it could be I've made up, something based on a potato.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
random combinations of 3 words. I can make stuff out of. So
Yeah, I had a young man who played with us very briefly, but he wanted to have a potato cannon. And so I developed a potato cannon, but I also gave it a drawback. So if he rolled a 1, there was a percentage chance it would blow up in his face because his
oh
dad was a wacky inventor and wasn't as good as he thought. So the homebrew stuff, I think we all do it all the time.
yeah.
It's awesome.
I mean, even if
You
you strictly follow the books, I bet you're still making some stuff up to go along with the printed adventure
Absolutely.
modules.
Absolutely. I think improvisation is the key to any role-playing game because nothing goes
Mhm.
as expected, right?
That is why these days I DM a weekly game and I improv at least 90% of every session.
Sure. I know I'm with you. I'm tap dancing the entire time.
As long as my players and I are having fun, it works.
Well, yeah, I mean, what I love is that you've codified all these amazing ideas into one book that somebody can pick up, and it's a
Mhm.
smorgasbord of item starters, monster starters, adventure starters that you can use to add to your adventure. You don't have to take the whole thing and use it. You can pick out pieces that you think are really fun or things that really fit your adventure, and go ahead and pull those out and use them.
Yeah, I don't think any one person could ever use everything in that book. I certainly can't. I can't fit the stuff I make into my own game. So that's part of it is putting it out there for people to use in their own game. So maybe this particular paladin subclass will get used, or this particular sorcerer, or this monster that my players haven't encountered yet. That sort of thing. I want people to use this in their games, or take the ideas from it and adapt it to their own game. So I say, Pathfinder's pretty much 3.5-ish D&D, although I'm not
Mhm.
sure about the second edition. But you can certainly take the ideas and readapt them if you're a Pathfinder player. Everything is written for 5th edition, the current version of 5th edition, not the 24 version. I'm not gonna rewrite or go through the 600 pages and change. It's 432,000 words.
Yeah, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Well, I mean, and yeah, I mean,
I've
we could go on about that separately, absolutely, because the
Yeah.
2024 stuff is very interesting.
So you can use
Uh,
it. You can adapt it for the 24. It's still 5th
mhm.
edition, so
Yeah,
this
it
will be
is. It's
still be
just
useful.
it's 5+ now. How
Yeah,
about
sure.
that? So out of all the things that are in your book, give me your top two things that might be your favorites, or
Oh,
the things that you created and surprised you the most with how good they came out.
that is incredibly hard. I have a wizard subclass that started with the idea of what if you knew so much about the workings of magic and what powers magic spells that you
Mhm.
could take some of that magic from spells that are being cast and use it yourself.
Hmm.
So I came up with a school of spell thievery, an arcane tradition of spell thievery.
Oh.
Um, and that's the premise. Like, at lower levels, that you can pull some of the energy from it and it weakens the other spell, but it could give the wizard a spell class that or a spell slot that they can then use themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, they can copy the magic knowledge or the ability to cast that spell temporarily from somebody else casting it. They're not technically stealing it, so the other person can't use it,
Mm-hmm.
but they're pirating the knowledge like you would software or something.
Sure.
So that's a fun one. And eventually at higher levels, they can cast spells that aren't even wizard spells doing that.
Hmm. Very
You
interesting.
know, but like that knowledge goes away as soon as you use it. You stole the spell slot, or you recovered enough energy to make a spell slot out of it and cast that spell, but then it's gone. So
Mm-hmm.
that's one of my ones that I really enjoyed. I make some silly items and things too. I have a wand of invisibility. It lets you cast the invisibility spell 3 times a day. And the person you cast it on is the one who maintains concentration on it. But the thing is, one, the wand itself is invisible. You can't see it, and no magic can reveal it. It is always invisible. And two, every day it regains all its charges, but at the same, I think it's sunrise, but at the same time, it teleports itself to somewhere else within 20 feet of you.
You have to dig around for it every day.
You have to find it if you want to keep using it. So
Oh,
that's
that's
a
fun.
fun
That's almost
one.
like a curse. It's almost like a cursed magical item.
Kind of, but it's not going more than 20 feet away from you, so you don't have to search everywhere, but you still got to search for it. It is not going to stay in one place.
I can only imagine camping outside. I mean, I think that would be pretty difficult to find.
It's almost like, okay, everybody, just close your eyes and feel around. It's going to be just the same as
Absolutely,
looking.
absolutely. Do you? So that's a subclass and item. What would be one of your favorite monsters that you've created?
I have one. I did a month of Fey related stuff, and I have a little, and you'd probably appreciate this. I have a Fey cat called the Copper. It's got like coppery fur and cat's
Mm-hmm.
purr. And it's a benevolent little thing. And they're attracted to people who are hurt and just like resting. And this cat will come up and it will lay in your lap and it will purr. And if you leave it there for a little while, it will actually help you heal a little bit.
Hmm.
And you pet it and like, yeah, it'll help you, it'll heal you because cats purr at a frequency that speeds up healing.
Yep.
in real life, and that is what
hmm
that is based on, and on the antibacterial properties of copper.
I was thinking also the conductive nature, maybe. Little energy flowing through copper.
Possibly, sure, yeah.
That's a great thing. I would say something, I would be like, it heals you because it's made of copper and it has this healing energy that is transferring to you. But that anyone can interpret it any way they want to.
Yeah, yeah. I just happen to base it on antiseptic copper surfaces and actual cat purrs.
That's fantastic. So right now it's kickstarting and
Yes,
it's kickstarting until September 4th of 2024.
correct.
Are you going to be accepting late pledges?
I am, yes. I'm
Okay.
going to be accepting late pledges. I'm not exactly sure how long, because I'm not exactly sure how long it's going to take me to finish the illustrations.
Okay.
But, it could take me a couple of weeks. It could take me a month. It could take a month and a half.
Okay.
That's,
Well,
I
we'll
don't want it
figure
to
it
go
out.
much further than that, but I'm going to be pushing these illustrations, pushing myself to do these illustrations, get them finished up. And then when I make the order, that's when I'm going to close out the late pledges.
Okay.
When I send the book off to the print company.
Absolutely. Right. Well, I'm going to have links down below to everything so you can find Nathan and his works. And if you want 600 pages plus of awesome homebrew TTRPG goodness, then I will make sure that you know how to get it. Nathan, I appreciate you coming on and
Mhm.
talking to me, and I wish you the best of luck. And that 600 pages is making its way into my library too.
Well, it's a little under 600. It's 575 at the
I
moment.
need you to add 27 pages for me so that I'm correct.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm considering some stretch goals to add a couple of things. And I'm dedicating several pages. Well, people that go to the Kickstarter can actually get their name printed in the book,
That's
or the
awesome.
name, or if they want to, the names of their gaming group members or their adventuring party members.
Fun.
That is an option on the Kickstarter.
That'll be awesome. Well,
Yeah.
again, I appreciate you coming on and I wish you the best of luck.
Always, anytime.